Hello guys, welcome to another video. So I'm continuing my gouache series with something a little bit different. I went with a different color palette and vibe with this cyberpunk portrait. It was pretty rushed as I spent just about 2 hours on this piece. I do like the colors in the end, especially on the face and the hair. I don't have a lot to say about the design because it was actually a struggle to work on this because I thought the urge to put pink flowers everywhere and make everything pretty. I feel like the outcome is strange because I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing. It's like somebody else was painting this because I was stuck mentally. I wonder if this shows or not in the end, and I'd love to have your feedback. Now, speaking about being mentally stuck, I also wanted to talk about something that is important to me and hopefully a conversation with you guys. I want to preface by saying that this discussion is entirely personal and affects only me and how I view my art. I do not want to sound ungrateful or upset or rant about my poor artist life. I'm so glad and lucky to even have a platform where I can share my work, my view on the world, and myself with all of you. And I am so lucky that still to this day, I do have support from a community that took a decade to build. So for that, really, thank you. You give me insightful feedback and unconditional love over the past 10 years, and I wouldn't be where I am without you. This sounds like the beginning of a breakup speech, but no, it's not going to be a breakup. I did script this because I just really want to be clear with my thoughts and where I'm standing and where I'm going, so that's why. But I just need to say that first before I say the rest out loud. It's not going to be the same rant-like video like I did 6 weeks ago when I was really upset and confused. I know exactly what is next for me now. I need to tell you in order to move on to the next chapter. So, it started a while back, but it got upfront in my mind after watching a video from Savannah Brown titled I Could Write My Magnum Opus or Go to Bed, which I highly recommend, and I will link it below. It got me a little bit twisted, but it also got me thinking deeply about the reasons of art and why I'm an artist. Savannah went into an open conversation with herself, trying to figure out pathways in being an artist and how struggling it can be to be one. Now, she's a writer, so her views are slightly different from mine, and her video emphasized on her writing abilities. So it's like an essay of some sort, the way she speaks. So this talk in this video of mine is going to be somewhat like that, but also just me voicing out my thoughts and try to navigate through all of them. Creativity is both something Savannah needs to do, but also dreads to do. It's like you can't really not create, but you're afraid or unhappy of what you create every time, and you dislike what you do, even feeling like never really satisfied, I guess, with your work is what I'm talking about. Seriously, name one artist who's really proud of what they'll do. We are constantly criticizing ourselves to do better, to get to the point of a true work of art. Or we just go through the motion, doing what we are good at, or known for, or what sells, while still being somewhat unhappy or feel like a fraud doing so. I want to be doing something authentic and so intentional that there is nothing overdone in it, but that will also speak to people and bring income. Curse of being a self-employed artist. How to find balance between what you truly want to do and what it can imply to your livelihood. This takes a lifetime. Now, I have been making art for 20 plus years. I know my strengths and weaknesses. I have lots of work to do. I also know that I'm unhappy with most of the pieces that I've created, especially the ones that I've been creating recently, or like my concept art, I guess. When I look back, I can see why I liked them back then, and I do not hate most of my work. I just don't like where it's leading me today. I do need to change, and I also need to break free from this pressure that I put on myself. Why do I dislike my work so much to the point where I don't even want to start thinking about a new piece? How is it that after I manage to work on a lot of concept arts, I actually end up not liking any of them? And even more important, why do I rely so much on what people would think of my work and let their reaction affect me? Maybe I should stop asking so many questions. I don't like this mindset, but I need a way out of it. To help you understand, I need to go back to the root of the problem. How do I view an artist? What's an artist really? To me, artists are as useless and irrelevant as much as essential and mind-blowing magical beings. It's like we don't serve really any true purposes. We're not like doctors or, I don't know, we're just people who bring a different look on life through our creations. Whether it's purely fictional or twisted reality or just a blunt truth, I see myself sometimes as a shallow dreamer. Every single day, I think to myself that my craft is totally forgettable, useless, not interesting, and it doesn't bring enough sense of fulfillment, joy, or self-worth. Yet on the other hand, whenever I manage to create something that makes me feel any sort of accomplishment, love, importance, or that I manage to inspire just one single soul out there, whether it's mine or someone else's, I feel the most alive ever, and I want to create again. Like the last piece I've created, the mushroom forest or the portal and this cyberpunk thing, it's like opening a new chapter for me, but the joy doesn't really last. I'm just scratching the surface of something new and different and scary. Geez, girl, stop taking this so seriously. It's just art. Yes, it's just art. Magical and basic at the same time. Creativity is both my nemesis and my drug. I just can't put myself in the shoes of somebody who won't stop thinking about making something. Writing, drawing, painting, singing and dancing, even cooking. Even though it brings little income, and it's crippling at times to feel like you have to create in order to support your livelihood. I don't want to force myself to create to be able to buy groceries, but I decide to make a living out of my passion. So I'm doomed at trying, or I need to stop and find another job. Thing is, I don't want to find another job. I have been trying hard at making art, wanting to get some sort of self-worth in the eyes of the masses for a decade. Never really picked up, never really worked as much as I was expecting it. And I shouldn't have expected it to work. I just watched others do it better, faster, stronger, and harder, and I felt like a fraud. I'm sorry, I need to chill. It's just art. Now, it's not that I can't make something that will speak to some, and I did say that I'm lucky to even have a community that supports me. But just because you work hard at something doesn't mean you're entitled to get anything back. I'm sorry to even demand anything in return. I shouldn't draw for others to give me something back. I should draw to feel something, because that's what I like about other artists. They make me feel. How do you measure the success of an artist? Money? Fame? Number of followers? Having an employee? Or feeling like fulfilled by what they make? Hard working isn't enough, and it's hard to measure. Back to creativity. Talent isn't something you can really measure. It's not something you decide either. It's not something you were necessarily born with. Although being creative is embedded in most people, being talented, it's another beast. I don't think I'm that talented. Even when people say I am, some say I suck. That's a good indicator that it's subjective. Everybody is more or less talented than you, but you're the only you. I'm always comparing to others, to the ones who did it better, to the ones that inspire me so much, but I can't create anything that will make me feel the way I felt looking at their work. Maybe I shouldn't seek that, what I see in others, but figure out what's my added value. I don't know how people feel towards my work, because to me, my art is empty. I can't put myself in the shoes or the mind of the ones who do say they are inspired by what I do, even though I'm extremely happy and proud when I do read a comment about somebody being inspired by me or my art. I just don't get why. I'm surprised and confused. But please don't take this talk as a strange way for me to ask for praise. I'm just explaining how I feel and how to get away from this mindset. I wish I was inspired by my own work too. Most times it doesn't even work and people don't like the piece. See, another twist in reality. Why would my self-worth and happiness rely on what others think or not think about my work? Ultimately, I think I want to be heard, seen, understood, and remembered. This is about pride, contribution, importance, belonging to something. It's my ikigai. It's what I know I'd like to do, I can get paid to do, and I'm good at least to the best compared to other aspects of my life. Is this what the world needs? It's subjective, but if I can inspire one soul, then I was needed. So if it's the perfect for my reason of living, why am I so stuck? Is this my thing? Is it really what I'm supposed to do? I feel like it is, but not how I do it currently. I know you guys will say that I'm too harsh, that I maybe shouldn't talk about this, and I'm probably overthinking, but this is my mindset. I don't think any artist isn't an overthinker. We are always thriving for something else. Maybe I should just be happy with whatever comes. I'm not saying you shouldn't like what I do. I'm also not saying you should. Twist it again. It's not about you or others. It's about me. I don't understand why I don't like what I do. It's like I'm putting up a cookie cutter version of what I want to create, because the real art I want to make is harder to do. It's different, unusual, and not what people expect from me. I literally have to go do something different. And if it's different and new, it's strange and it doesn't feel like something I should be doing. Maybe it's not pretty enough, maybe it won't sell, too weird, or it will look bad or ugly or whatever. It's too hard to change, to evolve, to be proud, or to be content with what I do. Excuses. You just always make excuses. All those reasons, but no change. Why do we make things? Why do I paint? Is it to express my soul or to please others? To make them feel something or for me to feel something? Why do I feel so good when I'm in the zone and so bad when I see the outcome? Is the joy of art just purely in the process or what's coming after? Why do we artists keep asking ourselves why? Is this a human thing or not just an artist thing? I'm 34 years old and I've been making a living out of my work for about 6 years now. And it's not working much anymore. It still does work, but it's going down by the second, and this pandemic world is a huge wake-up call. It doesn't bring me as much joy as it used to. I really don't remember the last time I painted just for me. I'm both happy and unhappy about my work. I don't resent the idea of creating. I'm not even blocked, really. I don't know what else to do besides art, but I don't feel like I'm good enough anymore. I don't know if making your art a job is a dream job, as some say. It does feel like a curse sometimes. My brain won't stop, but I can't access its true powers. The best ideas I had are in my dreams, and I forgot them. But in my dreams, I don't have boundaries. I'm not stuck or scared. I'll just go free and release my creativity. When I'm awake, I'm so resistant to change that I don't even decide to take the time to create something different. So where do we go from here, right? Change happens when the pain of changing is less than the pain of staying the same. Ultimately, I feel like I'm not really supposed to be doing anything. It's a choice. I need to change or accept or move on. I'm okay not being fully happy for what I create because I believe it takes a lifetime to master your craft. I look back at some of my work and they're probably the best I could make under those circumstances at that time. Like Toltec said, you can only do your best, and your best differs every single day. Maybe I needed to create tons of crappy concept art that I'll never finish to finally access the core of my art. Maybe. However, this problem is a dual sword. On one hand, I do need to get to the next level of my art. On the second hand, I also need to find a balance between my work and my love for art purely as an expression. I could find a way by dividing my art into two sections, one for creativity expression only and one for income. But I don't think doing what might sell is a good path either. So what now? Branching out, use what you know, and upgrade. I've decided to focus on writing. I told many times that I wanted to tell stories. What better way to infuse emotion than building a universe and its characters? I love writing. I will still draw, of course. I want my art to come to life, not stay frozen on paper. Writing alone brings a different kind of happiness. Even by writing this essay, I felt the most creative and happy that I ever felt at painting the last 3 artworks that I've done. I want to bring emotions to people, and I feel like I'm better at putting them in words and pictures than just pictures. I like to relate and care about others. So I'm writing stories where I'd be the first to want to know what will happen to my own characters. This doesn't solve the fact that I rely so much on what people think. If I'm putting up a story that nobody will read, how would that make me feel? I need to write for me. I think we should create for us, not for others. We create to connect to ourselves first, then connect to what we made, then others may or may not connect to it. Expressing your voice with words, pictures, sentences, sounds, movement is your way of telling your truth. I do want to leave a mark, to know that something from me will remain. Maybe art is one's mind footprint on the world. I feel like it's always about just wanting to be remembered. And as someone who freaks out when things aren't under control, it is nerve-wracking to feel like you depend on what others will think or do or say about you and your work. If my work is an extension of myself and people don't like it, then they don't like me. I need to separate my self-worth as a person from what my art might worth. I also need to separate myself from my own work, but not too much, because then it's not authentic or genuine, and I'm falling back into being a fraud, putting up content that I'm not connected to. But I can't win. Not like this. I need to find a balance and just stop caring about what people think. Chill out, it's just art. Yes, it is. But art is a big part of my life. I feel like after all those weeks and months, deep diving into the reason of it all, I can't not create. But I don't want to keep creating something to get reactions or love or praise or anything. I don't want the reaction or the lack of it to tarnish how I feel about a piece or how I felt making it. My self-worth isn't defined by people's opinion of what I do. My footprint is more than my art. It's in the people I love and how they will remember me. How much I care about them, how happy my plants and my cat are, how nice and generous I am, laughters, tears and memories, and the people I inspire, how joyful I am at birds and the stars. I'm more than my art, so I can't let it define who I am or what I'm worth. But I do want to be able to stop apologizing for what I create. Ultimately, I need to make a change or accept how it is. I won't change how people react or not react. I won't change numbers. I am powerless in many aspects, but I have control over what I make and how I react myself to it. If I really want to feel that joy and keep it, I need to free myself from expectations from others, and it needs to be 100% me. If I don't like it, doesn't mean I don't like myself. It just means it's a work in progress, like we all are. I don't resent the idea of creating. I think it's one of the most amazing human ability. I just need to find a balance in order to not be entirely defined by it. Maybe outside of YouTube for a while. Maybe I won't share what I create for a while also. I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep that project for myself to some time, and will share it only when I'm not depending on what feedback it could have. One thing I know is that I can't be stuck forever. I'll do homework, I'll try things, and I will find a way. Some will think that I shouldn't have talked about this, or that I didn't really need it to go on such a big analysis to just tell you that I'll be working off stage for a while. But this was not just about saying goodbye. It was also to help you understand why, and to start with this writing journey with this essay like speech. My plan is to finish my coloring book for the end of the month, and then I'll dive into making art just for me during a few months. We'll hopefully find a way out of this. I will still make videos, I'm not like literally leaving, but I do want to keep some of my work for myself, at least for now. I do love you guys, and I'm grateful that I can take that time to focus on my art without worrying too much about finances, because I'm still okay. However, if you can, any support for the next month will help a lot, because I don't think I will release anything until the end of the year besides my coloring book. I just want to feel that joy again, and I need to do this for myself, free from social media, free from the pressure, just for me. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you'll like the cyberpunk artwork, and I'll see you very soon. Bye guys!